Yes, well, this is another day. This is Sunday Adilaja here, ready to go. Today is Wednesday, and we continue to work on the wisdom. Ooh, my God, I didn't mention the topic that I'm talking on today. Okay. Hello, Shegun Fatima is the first person here today. Good morning. How are you today? Moses Neyman, good morning. How are you today? Kenneth Amobi, good morning. Nira Kolawole, Toronto, good morning. Bosef Fire Juola, blessings. Olatunde Steve, Temitope Omo Kuwajo, Prince Esson, Yetunde, of course. Omoile is there as usual. Kiro is there, my best lady. My lady of honor, my brother. Gideon, Rosalind, Oluwatoyin, Jonathan, Cynthia, Donavilla from Singapore, Olufemi, Nikki Okoro from London, Douglas, Akimbo Soye, Oluwayomi Flair, Ayodeji, Teddy, Paulus, Christian Sayers, Abia Kosh, Engineer Sam Mamia, William Dika, Samuel Oduro, Jot Idowu, Tiger Diepre, Thompson Finney, Sexton from Thailand, Femi King from Australia, John Paul from, I can't see where. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Of course, Lola Shorumke from California. Nice to welcome all of you this morning. Well, it's another day, glorious day, and we are ready to go by the grace of God. By the grace of God, we are ready to go for another wisdom tips for today. So, wisdom tips for daily living. Wisdom tip for daily living. So what's the wisdom tip I want to share with you today? That will be I'm sure that has been the question on your mind, right? You've been thinking, what is Pastor Sunday up to today? Well, Pastor Sunday is always bringing you fresh bread on daily basis. Fresh manna like God did in the wilderness. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you. And we'll be having a terrific week and more truth that will help our life is ahead of us in Jesus' name. So today, I'm talking on never take a decision under pressure. Never take decisions under pressure. Never take decisions under pressure. Because that is a common thing we all have. It's a common thing. Everybody putting pressure on us. If you said people don't put pressure on you, you are not living in the real world. Everybody calling you and wanting you to do something right now. Or they want you to respond to a suggestion that they are giving or, an idea that they have, or they want you to just take a decision as fast as possible. But it is never wise to be in a hurry or to rush to take a decision. It's never wise to take a decision under pressure, especially when people are pressurizing you, when people are telling you must do it now, and it's going to be late tomorrow. Anytime people come to you with such stories that you must do it now, you must take a decision now, and you must commit now, it means, it's better for you to just back out and believe God to give you a better opportunity, especially when it comes to money. When it comes to investing money or putting money into somewhere or, committing your money to people, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry to take decision, especially under pressure. Don't let people pressurize you. Don't let people put pressure on you to take decision. No matter how little it might look like, the decisions you take under pressure always have consequences. The decisions you take under pressure always have consequences. And, our life is full of decisions. And that is the challenge there. because, we take decisions every day, and decisions make up our life. As a matter of fact, our life is the subtotal of the decisions we have taken. Some good, some bad, but you are a result of your life decisions. By the way, I didn't tell people to share the link. I started immediately. I started so fast. But if you have the opportunity to go and share the link right now, let's go ahead and do it. If not, don't let us forget to share it when towards the end of the day. Towards the end of the program. Anyway, our decisions make up who we are. We are a result of our decisions. We are a subtotal of the decisions we have made. Let's say, for example, if you're an engineer today, it's because you took a decision to go into engineering school, or you took a decision to go to study engineering in university. That's why you are an engineer today. If you are a medical doctor today, that is as a result of the decision. If you are married today, it's as a result of decision, because you took the decision to accept the marriage proposal that came to you, or you took the decision to go and propose in marriage to somebody else. And and whoever you are married to today is a result of your decision. So you don't. That's why it is very faulty and it is very wrong to keep on blaming somebody else for your life or for the things that are happening in your life. Because it is anything that is happening in your life, anything you have today in your life is as a result of decisions that you have taken one time or the other. So our lives is a subtotal of our decisions. Our life is a subtotal of our decisions. So if whatever you have in your life now is because you took a decision regarding that. So if you some people will say, well, somebody else made me to take that decision. But well, you still took that decision anyway. Or sometimes it could even be lack of decision taking. Lack of decision taking is also decision taking. It's at your feet. The buck rests at your doorstep. You are the one to take responsibility for all your decisions. So so decisions are very important in our lives, and our decisions shape our lives. We become what decision we have made. The decisions we have made is an absolute reflection of our life. Our life is an absolute reflection of the decisions we have made. Wherever you are today is as a result of your decisions, of the decision you have taken. If you are living outside of your country, well, one day you took that decision to travel out, and that is you are now enjoying or reaping the consequences of that decision. If you took decision to go and work in that place where you are working, well, it's because you took that decision. So your life is as a result of your decision. Do you like your life? You don't like your life. Well, it's because maybe you have made some decisions that are wrong one time or the other. If you don't like your life, it means you have taken some wrong decisions sometimes. If you like your life, if you like what you say, maybe thank God you've been able to take some very good decisions in your life. But no matter who you are, and no matter how good decisions you've been able to take in your life, it also means that, there is no way you will say that you've never made or taken wrong decisions. All of us have been guilty of this, all of us. If you look critically into your life, you discover that there have been instances, there have been, times when you could remember, decisions you have taken that have landed you in pain and that have become, that have ended very bad, and that, that have brought sorrow to you, or maybe that are still bringing sorrow to you. All of us are a victim of that, unfortunately. We sometimes take wrong decisions, and we have to face the consequences of those wrong decisions. But so how do you minimize the possibility of taking the wrong decisions in your life? And one of the ways to minimize the possibility of taking wrong decisions is to make up your mind that you will never take decisions under pressure. You will never take decisions under pressure, or you will limit the amount of decisions that you take under pressure, especially when people are trying to hurry you, when people are trying to rush you and make you to take decision and say something or do something right now. It's better to always take a pause and to step backward and to take your time And there are a lot of things for you to really take the right decisions in your life. There are a lot of things to consider. There are a lot of things to consider. For example, you all remember the story of the story of the prodigal son, the prodigal son. That prodigal son, his life was a result of, it's a reflection of bad decision. He had a good father, and his father was there ready to bless him and his brother with some, pretty good inheritance. And this man was under pressure. What kind of pressure was he under? Obviously, he was under the pressure of his body. He was under the pressure of his ego. Because when we are young and we are growing up, we are naturally under the pressure to impress our peers or to, do something quickly, to have a quick success, and, to go and impress your girlfriends or your boyfriends, and, to just go and make something happen, and to really prove to people who your father is and or who you really are, that you are really this cool guy and you have all the money that it takes in the world. So that prodigal son, the reason why Jesus gave us a story is because he wanted us to see how costly bad decisions could be, and how costly, decisions that are in a haste or in a hurry, how costly they could be to each and every one of us. And we saw the consequences of the bad decision, bad decision in the life of this prodigal son. He had to go and be eating with pigs. It was so bad. And everything he took, he wasted them. He lost everything. Thank God, God is a God of second chance, and he could come back and still, retrace his ways. Same thing. And the Bible says something like that again in the book of Proverbs, that any inheritance that is taken in a hurry, will not be blessed afterwards. So anything we do in a hurry, really, and we do too fast, in a hurry and hasty, they always have, not too good consequences. And I'm sure some of you will remember issues or instances in your life or in the life of other people when you have taken decisions that have not really gone down very well with you or with other people. So don't ever succumb to taking decision in a hurry or under pressure. Refuse, never make decisions. Never take your decisions in a hurry. So don't take decisions under pressure, and don't take decisions in a hurry, because most decisions you take under pressure are probably going to be a mistake. They are probably going to be a mistake, or they are going to be something that you are missing. You are going to miss out on something. So be careful about your decisions. And so what are the things that we need to consider for us to be able to take the right decisions? And that's what I will be talking to you about today. What are the things that I and you need to consider to take the best decisions? And since decision is one of the, since decision is one of the things that really make us who we are, and since our life is a subtotal of our decisions, and since wherever we are today is as a result of one decision or the other that we have taken, and then we have to pay attention to the art of decision making. We have to pay attention to how to really make informed decisions, how to make sure that our decisions don't end up in pain for us. They don't ending us in soup. And how do we make sure that our decisions actually, go well with our destiny, with our future, that we become a better person as a result of our decision. One, the first point that you need to consider why you want to take any decision. First of all, you remember the most important lesson out for today is we don't take decisions under pressure. You should just remove that. I know people who have lost money because they take decisions under pressure. I remember one time a friend of mine, and that is a problem because we trust people. And, sometimes some of the decisions we take, we don't take them on the basis of the fact that they are the true or they are the best decisions. Most of the time we take our decisions because we trust the people that are coming to us. We trust the people that come to us. For example, if you heard of Ukraine, for example, I'm in Ukraine here, and if you heard that there have been some scandals about me and around my life, and I've been in court for the past 7 years, I've not been traveling from Ukraine. You know why that is? Because of trusting the wrong person, because of trusting the wrong people. What happened was that I had, our church is a big church, 25,000 people, And so, you cannot control everything that happens. But I didn't know there are evil people out there. And especially when they know who you are, that you are very trusting. And my wife and people around me always say that is my biggest weakness, that I trust people. I'm too trusting, too believing. I believe people too much. Anyway, but in this case, what happened is that, we had some people came, some people are having their own plans. You think that everybody have good intentions and everybody have good thoughts, but some people actually plan evil. So there were some people that, got together and saw that we had this crowd. And to them, crowd means money. And if you have a lot of people, it means you have a lot of money in your organization, in your church. So to have 25,000 people every day, day in, day out, every weekend in the church, they just said, wow, what kind of money is going on around that place? So what they did is that they knew that because they were not members of the church, there is no way they could gain our trust and ask for people to give their money. So what they did is that they found some of my youth pastors, young people. Young people, they are not so analytical. So they found, and I was so busy that time. I used to travel. I didn't have the time to really sit down and, look into the situation myself. And I came back from one of my travelings, and then I had them announcing in the church this investment company, and the investment company was going to give people, a big percentage for their investment, for their money. And I said, okay, who is behind? I just asked one of my pastors who is in charge. I said, oh, who is in charge of that business? What kind of business is that? Oh, so they mentioned the name of a young guy and said, oh, he's our youth pastor. He has a partner that, they are doing investment. I said, okay, let me call. So I called one of the assistant pastors who is in charge of the youth. I said, okay, let him go and research that company and tell me if everything is okay there. If it's nothing bad for the people in the church to invest their money. So he came back to me 2 weeks later. I said, oh, I've gone to investigate and, everything is okay. And, since I was so busy with many other things, I trusted my youth, my assistant pastor that is in charge of the youth ministry. So he trusted the youth pastor that he was supposed to go and monitor. So they all came back to me, gave me a clean sheet and said, yes, everything is okay. Yeah, maybe everything was okay, but there were some things they didn't see. They didn't, because everything seemed okay, but when crisis came, when the 2008 crisis hit the Wall Street, and the real estate prices came down, we discovered that these people, they were over generous with their money. They were giving too much percentages, and then when the prices came down, they couldn't come through. They couldn't pay all the people their money back. And of course, the politicians jump in the bandwagon. They just say, "Well, is that happening in Pastor Sunday's church? This is our chance to get him." And they started all these investigations and attack. They said it was a scheme. It means it was a specially arranged something. So Pastor Sunday probably arranged that. He put all those people and for them to steal money from his own church. I said, you're crazy. I mean, that is totally a crazy idea. How can I give my life to gather my own church and then steal money from my own church? Anyway, so that is, but at the bottom line, what am I trying to say? The reason why I am suffering, what I'm suffering, going to court and needed to put my innocence and everything, even though they know I don't have anything to do with it, but it's because I trusted people who I worked with. I trusted people that were around me. I trusted them into my work, into my life work, into, the whole thing that I gathered all through my life. I was just trusting. I trusted, first of all, the youth pastor that he would never do anything crazy. And he also trusted a friend of his that he didn't know that maybe somebody was using him to go and make money out of the church. So he trusted the wrong person. Then my pastor, my assistant pastor in charge of the youth, trusted the youth pastor. I trusted him. I trusted all of them back down the way. And that trust is costing me 7 years of now traveling out of Ukraine because I have to go and clear my name in court. And all kind of bad press, media, of course, media, politicians, everybody got in behind it and started, all kind of bashing, tongue bashing and everything. So what I'm saying is that some of the greatest pain in your life will come because of your decisions. And maybe because maybe you didn't even take the decision directly. Like in my case, I didn't take the decision directly. I didn't take the decision to allow the guy to come in or so. But I saw it. I didn't stop it. I trusted people. So our greatest pain are always coming from the people we trust, my dear. So who you trust. When you trust the wrong person, or you take a decision trusting people without doing your due diligence, without doing your research, without doing, knowing all what you need to know, because people just want to beg you, oh, pastor, do this, do this, do this. That is the way you suffer a lot. You suffer a lot that way. So it's expensive. It's painful when you take a decision without thorough research. So number one point that you need to consider when you are taking a decision, when you want to take a decision, and for your decision to be credible, for you not to regret your decision, is the factor of research. Make sure you do your own work. You do your due diligence. Do your research. Researches are still, some of the most reliable ways to base your decisions on. Don't base your decisions on prophecies alone. Don't base your decision on, a feeling. Oh, I have a feeling. Oh, I think God is telling me this. Oh, this is what I think that is happening. Don't base your decision on feeling. Don't base your decision on other people's revelation. Not that I don't believe in prophecy, not that I don't believe in revelation. I believe in all that, but, I've been living in this world for so long. I'm going to be 50 years soon. I'm going to be 50 years. I've seen a lot of decisions that have ended up in chaos and in pain. I've been around for so long to now know that prophecies, revelations are not the basis for you to take your decisions. Even if you have revelation and prophecies, go ahead and do your research. Research is still a much more reliable way and means to base your decision on than on prophecy. When it comes to prophecy, I had a friend of mine also was a pastor, big pastor. And, everybody have been prophesying, there's going to be this or this, especially when it comes to money. People come, they know you have money, they come to you and they put pressure on you. They use anything they need to use. If they need to use prophecy, they will use prophecy. If they need to use revelation, they will use revelation. So they came to me and said, well, there is this man of God, another man of God, a pastor in South Africa is a pastor too. So all these are happening between pastors, and pastors are supposed to believe each other. Pastors are supposed to trust each other. You see, most of our decisions are simply based on trust, and which is wrong. Most of our decisions are supposed to be based on research, not on trust. On research, on facts, not on trust. 99% of people in the world will base our decisions on trust rather than on facts. So what happened was, these people came to me and they had all these prophecies going on for them. And they said, everybody, this prophet from America confirmed it, this prophet from Holland, this prophet from, so this my guy was a good friend of mine, and a good pastor, successful pastor, and from Holland. And he came to me and said, we need to, there is an opportunity to invest money, a big amount of money into another pastor in South Africa. And, the money will yield this and all that. So, and the God has prophesied that he wants to bless his church, he wants to expand this, bless all kind of blessings and prosperity and blessings people promise you all the time. And so to convince my wife, we took all our life savings and invested in that company, in that other pastor, on the basis of all the prophecies and confirmation and all that. You know what? That's why I told you that I'm an old man already. I'm an old man. I'm 50 years old. I've been living here for so long to believe that, to now know the difference. Either you take a decision based on prophecies or decision based on research. Well, if you want to believe my experience, and I've had a little bit of those experiences, you better believe me that prophecies are good. Yeah, but if you want to really take informed decision, you better cross-check. You better do your research. I don't need to tell you how that story ended with my money in South Africa. Yeah. I don't need to tell you how it ended. And what happened to those pastors? Well, you know what normally happens. People disappear. Or people begin to just throw their hands in the air. and say, well, I didn't know. I thought. Well, what can you do? Somebody thought. And because somebody thought, all your life saving is gone. All your life saving is gone. So research is the best basis of taking informed decisions. So that's number one. Don't base your decisions on other people's decisions or other people's prophecies or other people's revelation. Base it on research. Number two, the other thing that we do wrong when we take decisions and when our decisions become catastrophic and painful is because we normally take our decisions following the crowd. A lot of people take decisions because their friends have taken that decision, or because their friend or their relatives have taken that decision, or because of their colleagues who have taken similar decision, or because of their, I don't know, their sphere of influence or their acquaintances who have done similar things. So most of the time, you investigate, you research. We take a lot of decisions because we know that other people have taken similar decisions. We go with the crowd, where we follow the mass, we follow the crowd, and that is a wrong thing to do. Don't always follow the crowd when you want to take a decision. Make sure that it is your own decision. Make sure that you are well informed about that decision. Make sure that you have enough information about the decision. It is not enough that the crowd is going there. It is not enough that the crowd is doing one thing or the other, especially if that decision is a decision that could cost you something. Like in my own case, that will cost you your life saving. I mean, you have your wife to deal with after that. If you're a man, you know what that means. When you convince your wife to give all your life savings, and you have to come back to your own wife and even though I'm black, you have to turn red and try to explain to her what just happened to all her life savings. And that is not an easy thing, because you need to wake up with her next morning and look at her face again, and you need to ladies have a way of reminding you. Ladies have a way of reminding you of all your wrong decisions. They will let you know that you took some decisions the other day that cost them their whole life savings. So especially if they are serious decisions like that, it is not enough that all your friends and relatives or people that you respect are doing it. Make sure that you put your feet on the ground and get all the information that you need. Don't rely on the fact that all the crowd is going there, everybody is doing it, then it must be a right decision to take. So another thing that's number 3 thing that I want you, or number 4 thing that you need to consider when you are taking a decision is that about anything is that sometimes we make a mistake of taking a decision because the thing we hear sounds similar to what we're already thinking. Most of the time we take decisions because what we are hearing or what we have been told is similar to what we thought, or what we have always thought. It sounds similar. Familiar. Is either familiar with what we want, what we ourselves want to be or to happen, or what we desire, or what we have been thinking about. So the fact that you have been thinking about it still doesn't make it the truth. The fact that you have been thinking about in that line, or you have had that line of thought, doesn't mean that decision you are about to take will be confirmed. So even though the proposal or the suggestion that is brought to you is something that you have been thinking about, or is something that sounds familiar to you, or is something that you have been wanting to happen, but still take your time and still do your research. Still take your time and do your due diligence. Even though the thing that is sounding to you as if, oh, this is familiar, or oh, this is what I always thought, or this is what I thought should be. But still take your time, especially if it's a decision that is having consequences. A lot of people are living in unhappy marriage today because of their decisions. And once you are married, it's difficult to come out of it. And you've lost your virginity, you've lost your innocence, you've lost your integrity of the families are involved. It's a difficult thing to break down the family or to divorce after you are married. And but some people, take decisions even to marry. I mean, it's things like that in a way that, it's just coming out without doing their thorough research or their thorough investigation. They didn't do research. They didn't investigate the person, the background of the person, their habits, their weaknesses, their failures, their history or their past. If you don't do those kind of investigation, you would later on regret your marriage life. You would later eventually regret. Not everybody is good. Don't just believe people. Don't just trust them what they say or what other people say about them. Take your time and make sure that you do your due diligence. And some people also take decisions to give birth, to begin to have children, when they've really not done all the investigation that needed to be done about how to rear children, how to raise up children, about their body, about their finances, about their, conditions of life, about, the prospects of raising the children and what will happen later on in their lives. So a lot of these things that we refuse to really consider and to give thorough thought to, just because we believe that, it's the same feeling that I have, or it falls with my feeling, or we take decisions on a daily basis. Either it's about our job, or it's about our church, or it's about our giving, or it's about our, it doesn't matter. Any decision you take, the fact that other people are doing it, the fact that people are putting you under pressure, the fact that you need to quickly take decision, they are not basis to take decision. Those kind of decisions will end up in pain. Even the fact that you feel that, this is what I always thought, or this is what I've always thought, is still not a reason for you to take any decision. Decisions that are taken in a hurry or under pressure like that, or under influence of other people, will end up being false and erroneous. You end up regretting it. Now, the other thing is that, like I said, like the example I gave earlier, that, especially for Christians, this is another reason, another thing you must avoid when you're about to take decisions. We Christians seem to be very trustworthy. Like I said, that's my weakness personally. I'm too trustworthy. I trust people. I just don't believe in the evilness of men. I believe in the goodness of men. So I trust people. But especially when you're a Christian, you want people to trust you, so you trust people. And Christians are believers. We believe people. We believe God. We believe people. And unfortunately, when you believe people, we have the tendency of believing the wrong people. Not everybody have pure conscience. Not everybody have good intentions. So if you're a trustworthy person, this is the next point I'm making. If you're a trustworthy person, or you're a Christian, and you have the tendency to believe that love trusteth all things, love believeth all, you need to be careful about that, because you don't want to trust the wrong people. Like I said earlier on, some of the biggest pain in life is because you trust the wrong people. So don't be too trustworthy to neglect research. What I've decided to do in my own situation is that, even though I still trust people, because I would rather not keep on trusting people and suffer the consequences than close my heart and close my mind about people. No, I will never close my mind, because that is against love. I would rather keep on trusting people. But there is a saying that says that trust but verify. Trust but verify. So that's what I've decided to do now. I trust people, I believe people, but I also take my time to verify. So that's what we need to think. We need to do. Verification is important. Even though you are a trusting person, tell them I believe you, and because I believe you, that's why I want to verify. I believe you, I trust you. Oh, they say, you don't believe me. Oh, they get annoyed. Oh, they were offended. They say, no, take it easy. I believe you, I trust you, but I've made too much mistakes. It's not because of you, it's because of me. I don't trust myself. I believe you, but I don't trust my own decisions without facts. I need to get some facts. So even though I trust you, but I still need to verify. And just tell them that I'm sorry. It's not about them. It's not that you don't believe them. You believe them, but you need to get your facts right. You need to verify and make sure that the facts are okay. So don't say because people disappoint you and because people will fail you, now that is the reason for you to now totally stop trusting people. Well, that will also be a wrong decision, because if you Bible says that love believeth all things, So if you say you are not going to trust people, you're not going to believe people, that also it might hamper your work life. I mean, your love life, and you might begin to be suspicious, and that's not a good thing to do. When you are suspicious of people are suspicious of you, people don't trust you too, and then you become, a kind of mania. So you don't want that to happen to you. So we trust people, we believe people, but we just say we trust, but we verify. We trust, but we verify. We want to cross-check what we believe in. We want to cross-check our feelings. We want to cross-check our information. And there's nothing bad about that. Take your decisions on the basis of your verification and the information that you've got and the research that you've done. Now, another point I want to make, some of the reason that makes our decisions very painful and the mistakes that we make when we're taking decision is that most of the time we are busy. Like I said in the beginning of the story, of this my message, I told you about the fact that I was so busy traveling and doing a lot of things. So I needed to trust a lot of the work in the hand of my assistants, and they were the ones who were taking the decision, and I just trusted them. But that was not enough. But the point I want to make right now is that sometimes we have overload of activities and overload of information. We are too busy. We are too overloaded with different things. So because we are too overloaded and too busy, we tend to just take decision in a hurry. We tend to take a decision, while we are running, while we are, busy, while we are, just on the go. And that also could be very painful. So some of the most painful decisions you ever take are the ones you are taking just on the run without really doing thorough thinking about it, without doing thorough investigation and thorough research on the decision and the consequence of the decision and all that. So don't be in a hurry to take a decision when you are under pressure, or when you are overloaded. When you are overloaded with activities, with too much information, and and it's difficult for you to really be very well informed and be best, to be able to take the best decision. So when you are overwhelmed or when you are overloaded with activities or information, it's not the best time to take decision. So you want to just take your time and say, okay, wait now. And then some people just say, I need to pray about it. That's what I hear people say all the time. I need to pray about it. If you are saying you need to pray about it so that you'll be able to escape, maybe that's not a bad thing to do. But if you say you just want to pray, it is only the prayers that lead you into decision. I've seen a lot of that also, even in my own life. You pray and you think you have peace about it, and still you make a mistake. And so prayer alone is not enough basis for you to take decisions. And for Christians, most of us seem to settle for prayers all the time. We just want to pray about it. And when we pray, we think we get a go ahead, because God will always give you his peace anyway. And it doesn't really matter. Sometimes God will not even talk. Sometimes God will be quiet. And the reason God would normally be quiet when we are asking him about one decision or the other is because, it's God is neutral. God is not God's business. Don't bother him about your decisions. A lot of our decisions is not a God decision. It's our own decision. And God knows that he has given you a mind anyway. He has given you brain. Use your mind. Use your mind. Use your common sense. Use your knowledge. Go get knowledge. Go get understanding. Go get wisdom. Go investigate. Go do research. And God knows that he will not do that for you. Angels will not do that for you. So when you are asking God to reveal this to you or reveal that to you, God will just be quiet. Have you noticed it before? That most of the time when we pray to God, that he should reveal to us whether this decision is the right one or the other, maybe either we should take that decision or not, that God will normally be quiet. 99% of the situation when we're asking God to tell us and we are praying for something for God to reveal to us or to confirm one thing to us or the other, God just keeps quiet. And the reason why God keeps quiet is because it's not his decision. It's not his business. He has given you a mind. He has given you brain. He has given you, your head. Go do your work. Sometimes when we're all asking that God should reveal, give us confirmation for this or that, it is not because really, the reason why God will be quiet is because it's just laziness. It's a way of covering our own laziness. We say, oh, I will pray about it and let's let God confirm. God will not confirm, and we are just lazy to go and do our work. So instead of bothering God and making God to be the one to be responsible for our decisions, we should just admit that that is laziness. And instead of just being lazy and say, oh, I feel good about it, feeling could be deceptive. And, God will just be quiet. And while God is quiet on you, go and do what you need to do. Go and do your own research. Go and do your own investigation. Get all the facts together. If you don't have all the facts, defer the decision. Just let the decision hang. Just leave it alone. Don't touch it. Because if you are going to be saying, oh, God said, even if God said and you don't know the details, it will still lead you into trouble. Even if God said, you still have to do your research, you still have to do your investigation, you still have to, get your facts together so that apart from the fact that God said, you'll be able to know that apart from the fact that God said, I have the facts on this matter. I know exactly what I'm doing. It is not just because I feel good about it or the Holy Spirit or revelation, but because because I have the facts in my hand. There is another situation, or it's a different matter if you already have all the facts and you still don't have clearance. Then you could pray to God to help you, give you wisdom and give you understanding in how to, navigate between all the facts that you already have on ground. That is a different matter. But if you are praying to God without the facts, that is trying to cheat. That is trying to cheat. And God is not going to answer. But if you already done your investigations, if you already done your research, if you already done your due process, and now you are at the point whereby even despite your due process, and you are not getting clarity, then that is where you could say, okay, I'm praying and that you are praying, and then God could help you in that process and then help, to give you a clarity about what you need to do. Now, another way we could, actually take better decisions is to give room for a sleeping. Sometimes we need to sleep in on our decisions. We need to just take some time out and sleep on it and sleep on decision. Sometimes, a lot of pressure come on us and they want you to give decision today. But really, sometimes it's actually better for you to just sleep thinking about that problem, thinking about that decision you need to take, do your research, and go to sleep. God will normally sometimes talk to you, maybe while you are asleep. It could give you a dream, or it might not give you a dream. But when you wake up, you might come up with a creative idea, or you might come up with a solution that you never even thought about before. So sometimes sleep on your, on your questions, on your matter before you take a decision. And sometimes you need to sleep on it, not just for one day. Sometimes you need to sleep on it for a month. Sometimes you need to sleep over it for a week. Sometimes you just need to sleep, to meditate about it and sleep on it and sleep over it and pray, sleep over it, and let God minister to you. Let God speak to you. So, but don't take decisions just based on emotions or on other people's prophecies or other people's revelations or other people's advice alone. Take your time to, that is laziness when you're just waiting for people's advice. Take your time to do your research. Of course, I'm not saying you shouldn't consult. Yes, you could consult. You could do, that's part of research. That's part of investigation. You could talk to people, hear their own opinion. But once you hear hearing people's opinion, you still have to do your own work. You still have to compare those opinions with the other opinion you already had. Or, you still have to make sure that, yes, all these things, you get them facts and yours. It's not that your spirit agrees, of course, that your spirit agrees with them, but not just your spirit agrees with them, but that the thing they are telling you agrees with the research that you have done, So we don't rule out other people. Yes, God could use other people to talk to us, and of course, other people have wisdom that we don't have, and we could learn from other people. We could seek advice from other people, but that doesn't say you should not do your own research. That doesn't deliver you from your own due process. So even though you are asking advice from other people, but that is not a strong enough reason on which to base your decision or your argument. Okay, let's look at another way that we could use to take better decisions. You can also take better decisions by assessing your probabilities. You know, the decisions you take sometimes it's needed for you. You need to give yourself pass mark, Give yourself pass mark. So to say, for example, this decision I took doing this. Uh, how am I? What is my probability? How close was I to the perfect decision? Was I 5/10, or let's say if the maximum mark you want to give yourself is 10, you want to say, okay, this decision, was it so poor that I could only give myself 2/10, or 5/10, or 3/10, 4/10, or was it so good that I could give myself 8/10, 9/10, 7/10, 6/10? So sometimes you need to assess your decision making process. You need to, give yourself marks. You need to, see because, it's like you are forecasting. It's like you are, you know, you are doing taking risk. So it's sometimes we need to be able to assess our risk probability, our risk, intelligence. Our risk intelligence is called. So instead of you just to be depending on the spirit alone, develop your risk intelligence and see how you are able to take risky decisions, and how those decisions are, how successful they have been, or how unsuccessful they have been. You have to be able to say, okay, these decisions that I'm taking, let's assess. Because if you don't assess yourself, you don't investigate, and if you don't give yourself marks, then you'll keep on repeating the same mistakes. You keep on repeating the same mistakes, and then you keep on losing money, or losing relationship, or inflicting pain on yourself, or you will be so afraid, and because you have failed one time or failed 2 times, you'll be so afraid of taking the next decision, that then, and if you don't take decision, you'll never be able to build your future. You'll never be able to build your destiny. So so for you to escape from that trap of never taking any decision again because you are too afraid because of your past failure, or for you to avoid keep on making the same mistake, you just need to begin to assess yourself. You need to begin to assess yourself and give yourself pass mark, and begin to assess your risk intelligence. How am I doing? How am I doing well taking risk, or I'm not doing well? Then you have to know what you need to begin to do better. Either you need to begin to do better research, get better information, get better advice, or sometimes, sometimes you need to even leave some decisions in the hand of other people to take for you. Like, for example, in the family, in my family now, most of the domestic financial questions, I let my wife take them, because she is very she's more frugal than me in that sense, and she's more critical thinking. So I just tell her, okay, you go ahead and take the decision. So maybe you need to let somebody, you need to trust other people to help you take more informed decisions, or you need to just begin to bring in experts, or professionals who might understand the question or the matter at hand better than you are. Because there are some people who are good in something. There are some people who are experts in some cases, or some people who are just talented in some questions. So you might need to consult the experts over some issues, and be able to tell them that, okay, this is what I'm going through, and pay them. It's better to even pay them. Let them help you, take informed decisions, rather than for you to keep on risking, and or not even be able to risk at all, and just be in a limbo. So instead of remaining in limbo in your life, you might want to just trust other people and ask them to help you. And sometimes prayers, of course, is helpful, because but prayers is not the only basis upon which we should take decisions. But still, we don't exclude prayers. What that means is that go pray. When you are praying, make sure that your heart is neutral. Be in a neutral position. Be in a neutral position, and don't take side. Don't take side for or against. Just clear your heart of any bias, and then you could ask God, and God will be able to guide you and, and probably speak to you. But God will not speak to you too if you are only relying on prayer. God will not speak to you if you will not go ahead and do your research and do your due process and get all the information you need to get. So we are not ruling out prayers, altogether. But I'm just saying that's not the only basis upon which we base our decisions. And also, like I said, don't let fear of failure take you or deprive you of taking decisions altogether. So we don't take decisions on the basis of fear, either for or against. Remove the factor of fear. That's another thing that will help you in your decision taking. Remove the factor of fear. Don't be caught up in fear and fear that I might not make it, fear that I failed before, fear that whatever it doesn't work out. Let's forget about fear. Let's remove fear and just rather base our decisions on informed decisions, on research, on what we have discovered, rather than on the fear of our feelings, of our failures, or our past. There are a lot of other things that I could talk about, but I think that's enough for now. How to take good and informed decisions. But the most important thing, like I said, the reason I call this topic is that the topic I call this topic is never take decisions under pressure, because that is one of the ones that are really most costly. It is when we take decisions under pressure that is really, really very costly. Most of our pain will come as a result of that. And of course, the other thing that causes us a lot of pain is when we trust the wrong people. When we trust people we trust bring up the most pain. So we have to be, at the end of the day, research, information, facts, they help you better to take better decisions than emotions, revelations, prophecy, trusting other people, or just acting under pressure. Well, I think that's where I will stop today for now. We will come back tonight and do the review of this message. But, let's see. Before I begin to read your comments, let's go ahead and, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and share this and share this message. Let's go and share the link, everybody. Please, let's go back to our, if you have the share button, please press it. If you don't have it, let's go back to our timeline and press the share button so that we could, get other people to watch this later on. And as we share it, I will be reading our comments. Okay, Nosla says hi. David Jenkins says amen. Kate Echi says don't let fear or failure affect your decisions. Nkiru says research. Yes, that's true. Kate Echi says shy. I have missed a lot of things. Good morning, Pastor. Anna Semshuk, Privet, Kak Belarus, Dobre Utra. Nkiru says most of the time we are too lazy to do our own work, then later blame our failures on the witches in the village. That is so true. We blame the witches and devil a lot. Yetunde is doing a lot of homework for you people. She's writing the test or the summary of my points, all my points. So you check out Yetunde, you'll be able to see all the points that I've made. Victor says, great wisdom from my pastor. Thank you. McDonald said, God bless you, Pastor. Thank you. Felix Belmont said, sometimes we deceive ourselves for waiting on miracles. We have to work it out. Yes, it's a deception a lot. Kenneth Amobi said, thank you, Pastor, for this topic. Another thing again about this, some of us go to our pastor to confirm the decisions for us without making and meditating about it. I was like that before until I break from that chain. May God have mercy and give us a better understanding. No. Your pastor might not be well informed. Your pastor might not know the information. So instead of relying on your pastor, just go ahead and do your own research. Yetunde says, absolutely, Pastor. Most decisions have nothing to do with God. These days, Christians say, I'll pray about it without bothering to do a research. For example, the singles when they are making the choice of a life partner. Fumi Adewumi say, pray for clarity and discernment after your research. Yes. Oluwa Olumayokun says, he that believeth shall not make haste. Yes. Favor Isa says, I agree with you, sir. Feli says, even if God said you have to do your research, even if God said you still have to do your research, yes, for you to take steps. That is so true. Sean Babarish says, you just healed me, Pastor. Thank God. Thank God. It's the truth that healed you. Gift said, the Lord is your strength, sir. Thank you. Miss Favored Temishina said, very true. Ladi Shorunke said, I totally agree. Yulia Muzeshenka says, morning, sir. I've just come back to reality. Wow. I avoided hard work and responsibility in decision making for so many years. Now things will be better for you, my dear. Comfort says, thank you, Pastor. God bless you for this teaching. Eleanor says, thanks, Pastor. Princess Laura said, true word from you, Pastor. Again, don't forget to share this link. Let's go and press our share button as we are reading this. Fumi says, thank you, Pastor, for this food for thought. Okay. Cecile says, trust, pray, and verify. Yes. You need to trust and verify. Abby Koch says, food for thought, research. Don't follow the crowd. Trust and verify. Yes. Rodriguez Lupe says, or Lupe, we should be busy praying. No, not just pray, but do research. Shegun Lawal says, in God we trust, all others we verify. That's well said. In God we trust, all others we verify. Yes. Stephen Innocent says, wow, thanks, sir. Trust and believe is really an eye-opener. Yes, not just trust and believe, but trust and verify. Okay. RCCG Durham said, even Jesus was betrayed. So this is part of life. So never just rely on other people's decisions. Devon McKenzie said, don't be trustworthy that you neglect to research. That is true. Don't be so trustworthy that you neglect to research. Yeah. Abby Koch says, it takes the grace of God and humility for you to be sharing this deep information with us. We bless God for you. Okay. Thank you. I just have to, I need to do what I need to do. Tell you the truth. If I'm here to help you, I must be sincere about helping you. Sheyi say, pray and think things through thoroughly. Well, yeah. You need to pray and then still think things through thoroughly. And of course, research. Victor says, Osadolo, Pastor, I love you so much. You are a blessing to me. Thank you, Victor. Jot Idowu said, I trusted friends and pastors that really cost me a lot. Yeah, you see it? That really cost me a lot. Thank God I'm wiser now. Many base their lives on prophecy instead of researches. I learned a lot today. Thanks, Pastor. Well, I hope it will help you. I have a lot of stories to tell from my own life of trusting the wrong people and taking decisions under pressure. Only research is only verification is a basis for decision making. Osoba says, thank you, sir, for the topic, because sometimes we do things wrong before we find out the truth. Yes. Shide Zuma says, marriage decision is very fragile and difficult. It always comes when you want to get your desire. Yeah, when you want to get your desire, you make a mistake. Abby Koch said, greater heights, sir. Well done for sharing this deep information. I'm blessed and touched. Thank you. George Aninye said, wrong decision of the past shouldn't stop us from moving on. Indecision is also risky. That's so true. Oreofe, hey, hi Oreofe, you were with me yesterday. I think it's the same Oreofe. I hope so. Says, yes, indeed, it's irresponsible of us to leave all the responsibility to God. Research is key. Thank you, sir. Yeah, he's the one. Oreofe, greetings from Kharkov. Yes, he's the guy. Margarita Christopher says, so helpful information. Thank you, Pastor. BC Awoeyo says, you are an epitome of success. The Lord is your strength. Yeah, you know, I'm an epitome of success because I've made a lot of mistakes. And that's why I'm sharing with you some of the mistakes I've made in my life. So epitome of success, you know, there is no success without failure. Anybody that has ever been successful in this life is because they have failed before. And so, but it's good that we could take, you know, make lessons from our failures. You don't just sit there and begin to cry, but we actually, you know, take the right decisions, verify and correct our decisions, our mistakes, and move on. Neki Okoro said, don't make haste to take decisions, search out matters. Yes. Nkiru Ojimadu said, Pastor Sunday might not be perfect, but he is real. And that makes the difference. Love you, sir. Thank you. Yetunde says, may God increase you in all ramifications, Pastor. You are indeed a great blessing to me. I have learned so much these few weeks. Thank you, sir. Dole Lee said, thank God for everything. God bless you, brethren. Yes, I think, and on that, our time is over for today. We'll come back in the evening to do analysis of, to do a review of this message. And then that is 9 o'clock in our time. That's 7 p.m. British time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, 8 p.m. European time, and 2 p.m. America Eastern time. So I'll be happy to see you tonight. God bless you all.